Hello, guys, welcome to Monday. I hope your weekend was great. And today we are going to continue talking about geologic time. Well, today is going to be the last day we talk about geologic time before we move forward to fossils. So, yay! Today we're going to look at Phanerozoic eon. Now, if you guys remember, eons are divided into eras, which are further divided into periods, which are then divided into epochs. We're not going to go into that much detail, but we're going to look at the Phanerozoic eon, which is further divided into three eras. This is the Paleozoic era, Mesozoic era, and third, Cenozoic era. Now, Phanerozoic eon is known as the eon of visible life. It is the most recent eon and is still going on as we are in the Cenozoic eon, which started 65 million years ago and still continues. It is known as the eon of visible life quite literally because, well, it shows signs of life. Now, the first era that we are going to look at is the Paleozoic era. This lasted from about 543 million years to 248 million years ago. And this is actually the very first era that was actually well represented by fossils. Before this, we don't have many out there that can give us signs of life. So this is actually the first era that can be said to be well represented by fossils. Marine life actually flourished in the beginning of Paleozoic era. We can also say that the ocean had become home to a diversity of life. Um, However, there were actually not many land organisms. There were very few land organisms. But by the middle of the Paleozoic era, most modern groups of land plants had appeared. And towards the end, we started seeing some reptiles, some amphibians, and a lot of insects that were abundant on the land. If you look here, here's the picture of what we can imagine the Paleozoic era to look like. As you see, this is the bed of the ocean of a water body, and you can see that it was a home to a diversity of marine life, and it was beautiful. There were not a lot of land creatures in the beginning, but eventually they started to evolve, and when this era came to an end, it is said that there was a large mass extinction event. If you remember from our previous lessons, you would know that scientists do not always agree with the causes of mass extinction, but some scientists do believe that changes in seawater circulation was the reason or was a likely cause for this extinction, and we think it ended up killing about 90% of all species. Another fun fact is that birds or monkeys had actually not appeared in Paleozoic era. They developed quite later, or they appeared quite later. If you remember, as I said, we did not see a lot of land animals in Paleozoic era. And after the Paleozoic era came to an end, we found ourselves in the Mesozoic era. Now, the Mesozoic era is also known as the age of reptiles or the age of dinosaurs. This began about 248 million years ago when the Paleozoic era came to an end. This era is also known as the age of reptiles because, quite literally, reptiles like dinosaurs inhabited the land. Reptiles dominated this era, and small animals appeared around the same time as dinosaurs, and birds appeared very late in the era. And a lot of scientists actually believe that birds evolved directly from a type of dinosaur, and they think that they were closely related. And since there were dinosaurs that could fly, so it is possible that there were genetic adaptations or modifications that gave rise to birds. And at the end of Mesozoic era, about 15 to 20% of all species on Earth, including dinosaurs, became extinct. Some say that a global climate change might have been the cause, There are theories of a meteor crash, an asteroid crash, which might have led to the extinction of dinosaurs. So there are, again, a lot of different theories that scientists have not definitively concluded as to what exactly caused the mass extinction, but there was definitely 15 to 20% of all species on Earth that went extinct during this time. Now, this is a representation of what Mesozoic era probably looked like. Again, we don't have actual pictures, but we expect that this was something what it looked like in the Mesozoic era all those years ago. As you see, we can see some reptiles. These are dinosaurs. There were probably some that could fly, and it was quite beautiful. And with the end of Mesozoic era, we came to the Cenozoic era. This still continues. We right now are in the Cenozoic era. And this began about 65 million years ago and continues. And it is known as the age of mammals. During the Mesozoic era, mammals had to actually compete with dinosaurs and other animals for food and habitat. But since dinosaurs actually went extinct, there was less competition. And after the mass extinction, mammals kind of flourished. Unique traits such as regulating body temperature internally and bearing young that developed inside the mother may have actually helped the mammal survive the environmental changes that probably caused the extinction of dinosaurs. As we know, reptiles cannot actually regulate body temperature. They kind of adapt to the surrounding temperature or the temperature of the environment. So it is possible that dinosaurs or reptiles were not able to survive in a diversified temperature or climate. But mammals, since they can regulate their own body temperature, they probably were able to keep warm. And the fact that they can bear their own children or their young ones in their womb probably made survival easier or at least beneficial for mammals. And that is all we are going to look at. If you guys remember, tomorrow is our post-test or our unit test on SchoolNet. All you have to do is review this entire unit, read through the slides, watch the videos, and you guys will have a very easy, relatively easy time while taking the post-test. I believe there are about 8 questions. It is a time test. It is 25 minutes. You cannot pause the test once you start. So, yeah, tomorrow during our live Zoom sessions, we will go through the material before you guys have to take the test. And good luck. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.